In this video, we're discussing the top neighborhoods in Sneads Ferry, North Carolina. All right, so the first neighborhood we're going to talk about is the landing at Mill Creek. This neighborhood's close to just about everything. It's right on Highway 210. It's in between 172 and Old Folkestone Road, which makes it smack dab in the middle of both four-corner intersections in Sneads Ferry. It's only a 6-minute drive to North Topsail Beach, close to North Shore Golf Club, as well as all of the shopping and the dining, the restaurants, things like that, right in the heart of Sneads Ferry. The landing at Mill Creek is a pretty big neighborhood that has ranged really from the early 2000s up until present, and there are new construction homes, which I'll talk about here in a second. But the landing at Mill Creek does have a small HOA that includes all of the street lights, the common area maintenance. It does have a playground as well as some retaining ponds for aesthetics and for walking. This neighborhood really does offer a lot. As you go through, you're going to notice a communal feel, right? Neighbors being neighborly, very family friendly, and everybody's yards are kept up. Even though the HOA is minimal, everything is kept very, very nice. Now, the front portion of the landing at Mill Creek are a bunch of brick patio-like homes, typically ranches, and they range anywhere from about $335,000 up to about $500,000. Now, as we progress toward the back, there's a whole number of different builders that have built in the neighborhood, but the prices are in the high 300s up to, once again, about that 500 number, with some of the bigger ones maybe tipping the scale over 500. Now, with that said, there is a whole section in the back of the neighborhood that is being completed out by A-Sides Construction. These homes are a great opportunity to build from scratch or to buy a spec home at a very affordable price point. There are some 3-bed, 2-bath ranches that are ranging in the low 300s, as well as some massive colonials that are up in the 500 mark. But these are brand new homes. There's great floor plans that honestly just make a lot of sense for families, for empty nesters. It's just a great community to buy in, and the appreciation over the next coming years is going to be great because the area is being greatly developed at this point. And just as an example of what you can get in this neighborhood, here is this 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath, 2,400 square foot house that's listed right at $392,000 by A-Sides Construction. It is estimated to be completed in January of 2025, but there are some that are going to be finished out sooner than that. So if you're interested in building in the landing at Mill Creek, phone number and email address on the screen is the best way to get in contact with me. You can count on me to be your source to get the latest and greatest discounts, concessions, incentives, all of that stuff. So once again, the phone number and email address on the screen. I would love to have a conversation with you, see how I can best help. Now, the next neighborhood that we're going to talk about is a fan favorite, Mimosa Bay. Once again, Mimosa Bay is central to pretty much all of the happenings in Sneads Ferry. It's close to the restaurants, the shopping. It is close to the bridge to go to North Topsail Beach, as well as the golf club. And Mimosa Bay does have a bit of a higher HOA fee than that of the landing at Mill Creek, but I think you will understand why once you hear these amenities. So you get a basketball court, tennis court, you get a boat ramp, you get a clubhouse, you get a pool, resort style pool, you get a fitness center, you get the gated access. And Mimosa Bay does a great job of having tons of common space so that you're not right on top of each other in the neighborhood. You get a little bit more space than other neighborhoods that we're discussing. And generally in Mimosa Bay, the lots are bigger. It is a bit more of a mature neighborhood. So you do have the tall, mature pines. You do have some thicker bushes and things like that to provide some seclusion. But Mimosa Bay is one of those neighborhoods that once you tour it, you're not gonna wanna live anywhere else. It's just an awesome, awesome neighborhood. And really the prices in Mimosa Bay range anywhere from the low 400,000s up to about 500,000 or 600,000, and that is the sweet spot. On the backside of Mimosa Bay, there are some waterfront lots that will range up into the $1 million point, but that is a little bit more few and far between. The average, once again, is about 400,000 to 600,000. And I did just have some clients in town a couple weeks ago. We looked at Mimosa Bay, and we pretty much called our search quits after that because they just wanted to stay in Mimosa Bay. They didn't want anything else other than Mimosa Bay. It is one of those neighborhoods you will absolutely fall in love with. It does have a variety of homes, style of homes, from ranches to Cape Cods to colonials to the coastal style homes situated on piers. All right, and the next neighborhood we're gonna talk about is the Preserve at Tidewater. This is a relatively newer neighborhood, started only a couple years ago. And this neighborhood does offer very generous sized lots, tons of privacy with some trees. And though it is a newer neighborhood, it does feel very mature. Prices in the Preserve at Tidewater range anywhere from the high 300,000s up to really about $600,000. And there are some new homes being built in the back by D.R. Horton for basically your 400 to 500 price point. These are a little bit more of your spec boxy homes, but they're still beautiful, and they do really get some nice lots on the exterior of the neighborhood with trees in the back, and so privacy won't necessarily be a concern of yours if you move into the Preserve at Tidewater. Just like Mimosa Bay, there is a plethora of build styles here as well as builders. D.R. Horton, A-Sides, Hardison. There's a number of builders in the neighborhood, and they build ranches, Cape Cods, and colonials. And then on the very back side, once again, there are some coastal properties up on piers, but they tend to be a little bit smaller. The Preserve at Tidewater does have an HOA, and the HOA includes the clubhouse, as well as a beautiful pool, as well as walking paths and a little walking path that goes out to Alligator Bay that you can also launch your kayak or your canoe from if you wanted to. The Preserve at Tidewater, you can get a lot of good deals. There was a house recently just sold. It was about 2,800 square feet, and it sold right at $400,000. Beautiful front porch, beautiful big backyard. The only downside is it did not have a fence, which certainly can play into the price point. However, 2,800 square feet for $400,000, you really can't beat it. So if you're looking for a newer yet mature neighborhood with trees, some big houses, and at a pretty affordable price point, the Preserve at Tidewater is going to be one of those neighborhoods for you to choose from. And lastly, the Preserve at Tidewater is only about a 10 to 15 minute drive to North Topsail Beach. It's roughly, 7 minutes to all of your necessities, shopping, dining, all of that stuff. So it's not much further away than Mimosa Bay. In fact, it's right around the corner, and the neighborhoods kind of back up to each other. So it's really not that far at all. But once again, you're a little over 10 minutes to get to the beach. You're like 6 or 7 minutes to get to your shopping, your dining. Really not that bad. So the drive is worth it for a lot of people. And the other thing I'll say about these neighborhoods is that they're all in great proximity. Whether it's Camp Lejeune, it's really only a 10 to 15 minute drive to the back gate on Camp Lejeune. It's about a 20 or 25 minute drive to MCAS New River. It's about 30 minutes to get into Jacksonville, and it's about 40 or 45 minutes to get to Wilmington. So, wherever you're going, it's really not a bad drive. You're looking, maybe 20, 30, 40 minutes at most to get anywhere. And the access to the highways is even better. Right off of Highway 210, maybe 172, but it's a quick zip up to Highway 17, and then you're gonna go north and south to whether it's Jacksonville or Wilmington, wherever you're trying to go. And with that, guys, if you got something from this video, be sure to like it, drop me a comment if you have any questions, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Really appreciate you guys, and I'll see you on the next video.